Okay, so let's take a look at how to use the verb used to. There are three forms of using it. You can talk about things that you stopped doing in the past, things that you're accustomed to, or things that you have adapted to. Let's start with things that you stopped doing and don't do anymore. Concept is very clear. Things that you have stopped doing, you don't do them anymore. This will involve the use of the simple past. To structure an affirmative sentence, you start with the subject, use used to as the modal verb, which means that you're going to use the verb in the base form. An example of this would be, I used to smoke, we used to play all day, Mary used to burn firecrackers. If you want something similar to in Spanish, used to would mean solía. I used to smoke would mean yo solía fumar. The negative structure of used to is formed with using the auxiliary didn't. So we'll start with the subject, followed by didn't, followed by the modal verb used to, and the verb in the base form. An example of this would be, Charlie didn't used to drink, he used to smoke. So here we have the auxiliary. Notice that used to is no longer in the participle form, and followed by the verb in the base form. Another example of this would be, we didn't used to work at night. She didn't used to play with dolls. She used to play with video games. Question structures for used to would also involve the use of did. We start with did in the first part of the question. Word order would be followed by the subject. We use used to, the modal verb, and the verb in the base form. An example question of this would be, did you used to have a bike? Answers for this would be, yes, I used to, or no, I didn't used to. Another example question of this would be, did you used to have short hair? Answers to this, yes, I used to, no, I didn't used to. Okay? So that's pretty much how you use used to for things that you have stopped doing in the past. And check out our next video on how to use used to for things that you're accustomed to.